Here we go. Yo, you just don't know. I had such a great conversation and I thought I was live and I wasn't. But hey, look, this is Conversations with Kobe. It's 8:30. I'm on the mic. I'm telling you, this is going to be a great day. And I've been blessed to be able to be here to serve you, to bring these people that I know, that I've had experiences with, to sit and talk to you and share some of their secrets. Now, today, what I wanted to talk about was fatherhood. Fatherhood is something that's been very important to me, and it means a lot as the father of three. But I've also been the father, or sometimes the father of many others. But I want to tell you that I can say that there's a conversation about fatherhood and what it means, especially in the Black community. But in this day and age, I've seen a million brilliant, faithful, and giving men that love their children and are dedicated to their success. I had named a few before I didn't hit the go live button, but I didn't hit it. But what I've brought to you today was to bring on my man to talk about fatherhood and Daddy University, my brother that I spent a lot of time with. We ate and ate as Georges, and we spent some time. And it's my brother Joel Austin from Daddy University. What's up, brother?
Yo, what's up, brother Cole, man? It's great to be on this show, man. This is my first time. I'm hyped.
Well, thank
See
you.
you.
And
Well,
and it's crazy because we had a good conversation when we thought it was live, right? But as it's live, let's tell us what's been going on with the pandemic and how have you been going on with everything going on?
man, everything has been really, really good. We've been actually looking at the blessings of the pandemic, not so much as the blight side of it. To be honest with you, I'm remarried. So now I have stepkids. She has stepkids. There's like 6 of us, 7 or 8 in the house sometimes. But be honest with you, this is the first time, Kobe, in probably 3 or 4 years that I've sat at the table, broke bread with the kids at the same time because of the pandemic. Like,
Wow.
I mean, and I'm not talking about out of a box or a bag. I mean, like homemade meals, everybody at the table. So I saw some real blessings, and it get live at the table. Everything that's everything happened at the kitchen table.
Yes, definitely.
So it's
So
good.
that's beautiful, man. I can say the same, and I've got some extra time to spend with my wife, so it's been a beautiful experience. So I want to talk about Daddy University and fatherhood.
Let's
So
go.
can you tell me, first of all, tell me what Daddy University is?
Daddy University is the longest running male parenting education company in the United States of America. We have been hosting classes, workshops for fathers since 2004. Daddy University is built for fathers to be as educated as mothers so that we have 2 people educated in parenting and raising and youth development. And it's also an advocacy to bring out the 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 incredible power of that dads bring to the table, bring to the family, bring to the community, bring to the world. We change the world, and our slogan is fathers carry the seeds of life. Um,
Wow, that's a true statement, and a deep statement. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. So as you got this vehicle
mhm.
to educate fathers, men
Yeah.
specifically, because I think men are the only people that can be fathers.
Well, the seeds, yes.
Okay, all right. I'm just because I'm older, so I'm
I,
trying to learn and adjust and navigate around this. So as you decided, can you tell me your journey to creating this vehicle to educate fathers?
the short story was just like you. I was having my son, and I'm trying to be different than the old generation. The old generation, they didn't really go to the doctor's appointments. I was at the doctor's appointments. I was at the offices, I was at the little classes, I was in that. Married at the time to my first wife, I was in it, and in the end, we had the child, and I was trying to take care of it and struggling. Uh, Fast forward about 4 years later, I had my second son.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my first son gets invited to a new Big Brothers class. it's a big brothers, because he's a brand new big brother, big sisters class, and it was cute.
Mm-hmm.
uh, I found myself in this class with children taking notes. And I realized I had graduated from Cheney University. I was head of my household, but I was the only person in my house that didn't know, that was never taught how to take care of an infant.
Mm.
And that's how Daddy University was born. It was born out of dislike, and this is just wrong. And a lot of my friends and my dads that I knew, we were kind of winging it, because our fathers was, they didn't do that whole diaper thing. They didn't do this thing. Some of our
Yeah.
dads never even saw us born, because we wasn't even allowed in the hospitals till a certain time to see your kid born. So a lot of them just didn't know. But then us, we fell into it and we liked it, because I ended up with a wife that worked, and they worked, and then I got this. I'm like, what are we going to do? So we started Daddy University and the journey has been incredible. We started with classes. We started doing a national fatherhood conference in Philly, Delaware, New York, and New Jersey. It started branching out. We ended up with our 13th conference.
Mm.
We started the Fathers Club. The Fathers Club has been running for it's on its 7th year now. It's just a support group, an educational group. We get on Zoom and we just be kicking it about children. We do education to schools, to hospitals, on inclusion of dads, why dads are so important, what the power that dads bring to a room and bring to children, and how to include them. We do a parent academy, which is we do moms, dads, and caregivers. We also train and develop.
Mm.
We started. So, Cole, this is crazy because I have 3 boys and my daughter. Uh, 13 years ago, I started the daddy daughter dance
Mm-hmm.
in Philadelphia. We had 40 people that showed up to the first one, and I was blown away. I was like, I didn't even realize there's dads just like me that were, well, that I was that I was strapped by my daughter, that she was pulling my strings. I didn't realize that there was dads like me that, had lost their heart to their daughters. And the year before COVID, we stopped selling tickets at 650. I'm talking black fathers out there pulling up in limos with 8-year-old daughters. I mean, daughters with pearls on, and that's that love that we don't see. We just initiated during COVID our new fraternity, which is called Delta Alpha Delta. It's a dad fraternity, and it's going to start and we're going to finalize it in 2022. We also have a doulas for dads program. It's a
Mm.
postpartum doulas program, so that we kind of come in early, around the third trimester, and start talking to dads about what this is going to look like, to ease their mind, because that's a
Mm.
very stressful time. And if you don't do it right, it can mess up the whole relationship. You don't want a child to come in to a broken relationship.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That ain't it. I mean, that's because it's so much to unpack, and I've got
Yes.
it's so much to unpack, because you started with talking about building and educating,
Yes.
right, and your experience, and it's kind of funny because my 2 children were preemies, both of
Mm.
my boys,
And
and being a dad, I had to set rules because I teach. I had to get up early in the morning. So I was like, I got them until 9 o'clock. You got to take them because you got the other half. And then I get them when I get home until 9, and play that game. But so tell me how, what was it like when you started taking these classes and learning about your child and making those decisions?
it was it was life changing. As you can see, I ended up staying on this path. It was life changing because I started looking for information on how to change a diaper, to the milk, and trying to do the normal stuff. But I started reading more, and I started finding out. And when I say the power of dads, I mean the power of dads. I mean,
Explain that for me. I don't mean to interrupt you, but explain what you mean when you say that.
so I say that all my mothers have a superpower. They have the superpower where they're actually allowed to feed a child 100% of the vitamins and infant needs from their bodies. That's a
Mm.
superpower. That's crazy. We also have a superpower. It's called an Adam's apple.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that when we read to a child, because we have an Adam's apple, they hear words better and they can read better when we read to a child. Also, as I talk and as you talk, my Adam apple, it vibrates. So if you want to put a child to sleep, you can put them on my chest while I talk. It's like putting them on the dryer or something like that. Like we have these superpowers.
Yo, that's wild. I never even, yo, that's crazy, bro. I never even thought of that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's more and more, but it's just, I've realized that I when I do presentations, I look at the moon and I ask people what's the job of the moon, and then ask people what's the job of the sun, and then I talk to people about the earth. But then the reality is, when you look at it, the moon is just like the father. A lot of times, the father is the one to tell you to put your behind to sleep. Or but the moon is actually the balance from the earth and the water. When the moon is out of whack, you have like hurricanes, tornadoes, and things like that, which you see in our neighborhoods. And then the sun is a nurturer. It gives vitamins, it gives food. And then the earth, you can't grow flowers with just the sun, and you can't grow flowers with just the moon. Like together, either you got to have an uncle or a cousin or an aunt to come in. That's the only way to really grow children. So if you look at it from that aspect, we're equal to mothers in raising these good kids.
Right. So you're talking about balance, the yin and the yang, and all these other things.
I'm talking about you put the seed with the dirt. That's the way you get a kid. So
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't no biologist, but this is YouTube, so I can't say, I don't know who watches.
No, that's interesting. And so as you started to go through this, you understood how many men, and realized if you didn't know it, how many other men didn't know.
And then that's when we started putting it out there, and more men started to join. I also, when I kind of look back, I started seeing the biasness. I started seeing how maternity and all of that was just geared towards mom and not inclusive of dads. So for example, I'm married. We go into the OBGYN at that point. We walk in the office, she signs in, I sign in, we sign in, same last name. They ask me to sit in the office. They take her in. 20 minutes later, they come out and say, Mr. Austin, you can come in. So then they start telling me about the baby, because we're in the second trimester. So I asked the doctor, I said, well, why did I wait in the hallway? I mean, in the waiting room. She said, well, I wanted to give her privacy. And I'm thinking, how do you think this baby got in there? Like, I done examined.
Yeah,
I was the.
So you unpeeled the fruit. I understand.
Listen, your little 20 minutes ain't nothing compared. I didn't see
to the time you spent.
I can tell you some things, like, on the right.
So, but I say this, I'm gonna be honest. My children's mother had a male OBGYN. He ain't going back there talking about you sit here for 20 minutes, bro. I respect your job and all that, but you're not doing that. And I'm gonna sit right in the corner with my hands crossed, and I'm gonna observe you, and then I'm gonna listen. That's how I was.
I think it was really biased for her to think, well, I don't want her to sit here with her legs open while you're in the room. And I'm thinking, we're not at the gynecologist, we're at the OBGYN. So I'm thinking, how wrong is that? How wrong is that? I believe the only way for this to get into there is that we had to get a little closer.
Yeah.
So I saw the biasness as well, and we advocate for the biasness. Yeah, I need to know just as much. I should know this and I should know that, and I want to know birth weights. And the more I know, the healthier the kid gets.
And how you can support.
And how I want to support, yeah. Because I mean, I need to be able to stand up to my wife and say, listen, 2 gallons of ice cream is enough. All right, we can't.
Yeah, no, because see, and I don't want to get too much, but like, there's a time for both, right? There's a time for some privacy, but then if you either want us to be apart or you don't want us to be apart.
And when we're not apart, you look at me like, I'm not sugar honey iced tea. But when I'm all up in it, then I walk in the room and you look at me like I'm invading your privacy. And I'm thinking, yeah, but that's my son or daughter. Yeah.
And so
it's a lot. It's a lot.
So now as we talk about this, because I'm gonna come back, because how many people did you say you had at your last daddy-daughter dance?
At the last daddy-daughter dance, we stopped selling tickets at 650.
So I'm gonna say to you, You had a daddy daughter dance with 650 black fathers.
Fathers and daughters, yes.
I'm saying black fathers for a specific reason,
Okay.
right? Because they had to have daughters to go to the dance,
Yes.
right? So you got 650 black fathers. There is a misnomer, or sometimes this thing that black fathers are invisible or not around or not here.
Yes.
You had 650 just for a dance.
Oh, and the tickets weren't cheap. I'm just adding that in. Yeah.
And so what I say to you is that sometimes I don't believe the daddy shortage is as bad as most people proclaim it to be.
There are statistical numbers that you'll always see, which is 24 million children wake up without a father in the home. That is correct. The statistical number is also incorrect because it doesn't give the whole truth. The whole truth is they don't wake up with a father in the home. A lot of black fathers are a kind of coddle in their area. So that doesn't mean we don't come get you for haircuts. That doesn't mean that we don't pick you up in the morning and take you to school. It doesn't mean that we don't drop you back off from school. You may wake up in the morning and we're not physically in that house, but they also don't track when we co-parent. There is no tracking for co-parency. So 24 million wake up without a dad in the home, but they don't say that on the next week they wake up in the dad in the home. The Census Bureau either has a single household or not a single household. They don't track co-parenting. And that's one of the problems. They don't track the truth. The truth is I'm very much involved, but she checked that single box and that was it. They don't check a haircutting box. I have them from Thursday all the way to Monday. They don't have a box for that.
Wow. Because what you said makes sense. Because like I'm very involved with my children. Anybody who knows me knows how involved I am with my children. But they may not wake up with me on the school night.
Right. But
because they're with their mother.
But they'll go to bed knowing I better get this done. Like,
oh yeah, they know. Don't tell daddy because I'm gonna start. Because I show up at the house too. Like you might not wake up with me there, but I'm gonna be in your crib.
You think I'm Snoop Dogg? I'm doing drive by the school, like I'm creeping on the low. What's up? What's up, everybody? You got guns? I got. What's up?
So what else now with that kind of out of the way and that understanding of how they don't allow context for their data? What has Daddy University done to combat that and also to help educate and promote that positive image of fathers?
I'm glad you said that. So we also put out our own statistics, and these statistics are not ones we came up with. We have the same government statistics that they're talking about, we talk about. Statistically, specifically, African American fathers spend more time with their children than all others. Statistically, African American fathers that are below income are more engaged with their children than any other father, which means we read more. So you got some really tough brothers. And when I talk to these tough brothers that they don't really get into fatherhood, but to be honest with you, most of your African American fathers are truly nurturers. You have the toughest of the toughest. You could have your tattoos and guns, but the same brother is doing hair like every other night. You know what I mean? We have no problem as strong black men getting our nails painted and being on doing Barbie. I've seen Frozen more times than I even want to talk about. But will I sing it? Yeah, I'll sing. Like it's weird. It's not weird, but the strength of us is also the sensitive side of us. Like we will, for our daughters and for our women and things like that, we're protectors. So sometimes we break up. We don't even move far away. Like we make sure that we know where the school is at and we know where this is at. And I got brothers in prison calling, talking about, don't make me check you on these grades, knowing they ain't coming home for 8 years, but kids still be like, all right. So our flavor, we put out that the flavor of it is that the strength of us is still not seen in your media, but you got to realize that it does happen. The fathers that you see on the street pushing carts, they're not highlighted. Pushing a baby stroller is not highlighted. Pushing this and the single fatherhood is not highlighted. It's just something we do. Also, Kobe, part of it is our fault. We do not highlight ourselves. Mother's Day, everybody in the world is selling t-shirts that say I'm the best mother. A lot of black fathers don't have t-shirts that says my kids are everything to me. Like we still don't highlight and brag about ourselves. So that's a lot of times you don't see us
Well, you know what?
broadcasting.
I'm gonna give you something somebody said to me. I forgot how old I was when they said it, but they said to me, when there's trouble, kids call mommy. When mommy has trouble, mommy calls daddy. Who does daddy call?
Daddy University.
Yeah, I hear that. And we're expected, a lot
Mhm.
of times we're expected to do that and not go back and call somebody.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So one of the things my great grandmother used to say it to me, it's not a favor if it's not out of your way. Fatherhood is not out of my way. So why do I need to act like it's something extra? And what you're just saying is promoting, but thinking it like, why I need to wear a shirt to tell everybody that that's normal. I'm supposed to be like that.
And I'm like you. I'm in a weird, uncomfortable way, and I'm sure a lot of black fathers have been there. We've been in a park, and people have said to me and have said to Kobe, "It's so good you're out here with your kids." It's a compliment, but then I don't know how to. What are you saying? Are you saying that or your kids are very well behaved? What do you think they suppose? Of course they are, because it's still in black fatherhood specifically. It's still these misnomers that we're not around. Only because a lot of times the marriage rate fluctuates, but the reality is we don't leave. Most of us stay, and most of us are silent about all the issues and all the things we do. And we don't get hyped up either. To be honest with you, I'm not going to jump in it, but a lot of black women, if you have a great father and a great husband, we don't get hyped up. They don't want nobody. They be like, he all right, just stay away. Don't come to my door. You know, they don't be like, he amazing, because everybody start running like, oh, do you need some brownies? So they scared. They're like, keep away, keep away. So, but where do we go? I'm glad you asked that. We have to start having these support groups. We have to start kind of congregating a little bit more with other dads. And even Superman had an ice castle to go to.
Yeah, that's dope. What you said, because I was thinking about your frat. So tell me a little bit about that, because I might have to. What's it called? Delta Phi Delta.
Delta Alpha Delta.
Delta Alpha Delta.
DAD.
Okay.
We started it and founded it during COVID 2020. We're getting it all together, but it's really going to be a place. And I'm not in a national fraternity, but all my brothers were, as you know, Red and all of them. But what I started to see is that my friends that were in a fraternity congregated. They congregated a lot, and the fraternity is this huge support and service group. And it talks about a lot of fraternities do a lot of services for either youth or to the community, but still there was no place to congregate about my crazy 13 and 14-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And we have bars and we have this, but we never had a place to say, my daughter make me want to choke her in a safe place. I need to be able to say that safely. Like, and I want somebody else to be like, so does mine. Like, so does my daughter crazy too. Like, I want to be able to talk about these problems and issues with other people that kind of get it and understand. And that's where the fraternity came from.
Oh, dope. Well, let me know. Hazing is illegal, right?
Oh, I think after fatherhood, you don't need to be hazed. Like, I don't think we can do, I don't know. The initiation is done, bruh. You can't do no worse.
I hear that. So let me know. I need my application so I can go through the process. But so what else? So lastly we talk about. So before I get into my last things, we got about 5 minutes left. So
already?
What? Yeah, man. Yeah. So what continues to inspire you?
Brothers like you. Brothers like, I mean, I have friends from Cheney, friends from school, friends that I hang around. I talk to fathers that are going through so much. One of the biggest issues we have right now is trying to let fathers know that they have the same equal rights as mothers. When families break up and I help them put back together, knowing that every child is going to end up with a dad that's knowledgeable of how to talk to them the correct way. It inspires me because I'm starting to see change. There's other organizations that are kind of be like ours, and we're starting to connect. But I mean, fatherhood is one of the things I think I do right. I don't know about everything. I mean, I don't know about anything else, but I actually like you. I like youth. I like inspiring. I think it's great because I'm a social entrepreneur. Like the Daddy Daughter Dance is a social event. It helps. Oh, the other thing fathers do, specifically with girls, why we had the Daddy Daughter Dance, because fathers more than mothers bring about self-esteem in women and girls. When I tell my daughter
And how
she's
to be properly
beautiful,
treated, right?
and we also teach you how to be properly treated. We also teach you what a king looks like, and also what the Joker card looks like, because those two different, them two different cards in the deck. One of them, don't, you know, those two different cards. So we set standards. We set standards for for my sons. I set certain standards. My sons are probably going to eat dinner at the table, probably for the rest of their life, with their families and with their families, and it all goes down at the kitchen table.
I know that's right. It definitely does in ours. When we do, because I never was. Once I left and I spent more time with my grandma and great grandma, we had a small house.
Right.
So the kitchen table was really I don't want to say a park bench, but those kitchen picnic tables.
Yeah.
We had a small house. The picnic table was in the kitchen in the side, and it had a bench, literally the bench that goes with the picnic table. Them. And I used to sit in front of the TV with newspaper on the floor and watch TV and eat dinner while my great grandma and grandma ate dinner behind me in a chair.
Yeah.
But that was our version of the kitchen table because it was small. We would talk.
You would talk, and the kitchen table is not the kitchen table. The kitchen table is where everybody is around each other eating. Yes. I mean, it's just a metaphor, but if you on the couch watching a movie, eating together, like things happen, man. You watch Frozen, you watch Disney, somebody's doing something. Next thing you know, you pause it and be like, is that the kind of guy you like? Because there's a villain, and there's a good guy. Like,
which one you want to be?
Right. You start asking questions. Well, right there, it all goes down. Like,
I hear you. I've been watching Zig and Sharko for the past 2 years. I got an 8-year-old. He's killing me. He's killing me.
I'm so sorry, man.
So, if I was a new father,
yes,
right, what a piece of advice would you give me?
I would immediately say, you got this. I would immediately say, due to chromosomes and DNA traits, that you got this. This child coming out the womb is 50% just like you. Because of chromosomes in your blood and your DNA traits, you already got this. You're passing 50% already. You have to learn the other side. So this child likes the movies you like. This child likes a lot of the TV you like. This child giggles at the same stuff. His eye color is going to be like yours. Don't be afraid, but you got this. Most of the food you like, your son or daughter's going to like. So you got this, and have fun with this. I mean, fatherhood is a great thing because you can go from 40 years old to 8 years old real quick, and you can have fun with this. I have no problem with some Play-Doh. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like,
well, I'm just hoping I can get the white beard like you got, like the white beard and mustache. My joint ain't coming in. I got salt and pepper.
What? This is teenagers. This was black. Every report card I get.
Well, I'm waiting to see. Well, look, I got to get ready to get us out of here, man. Listen, this is my man, Joe Austin. Look at the socials down the bottom. Facebook, Daddy University, Inc. Facebook, Joe Austin. IG, Daddy University, Inc. LinkedIn, Joe Austin. Connect with my brother. If you want to check out more about this brother, go to www.daddyunit.com. Right? Check out my brother. Listen, brother, I love you. I got a few more things I got to put out. You got to check out Magic melanin shea butter. Like I tell y'all every week,
man,
every time my wife put it on, bounce, you go wow, wow. Then, if you got something to ship and you're in Philadelphia, you got to go to 3rd and Girard for the UPS store on 3rd and Girard. You want to send it, they'll ship it. Please do get it there. Take it easy. Much love, brother. I appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. And we got to do more work. We got more work.